Good afternoon, good morning, or whenever you're watching this. This is Mrs. McDonald. This is my conference night video. Your student should have asked you to watch this. I'm going to go over several things that are important to you and important to your student. We do have conference night. It is next Thursday, on Thursday the 15th from 4 to 6. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be here at that time. So I'm going to be available the day before on the 14th from 4 to 6 at this number, 808-406-0182, or either send me a message and I will call you during that time. I have a medical appointment that I have to be at that's going to prevent me from being there on the exact night, but I'm still available, still doing my conference night, just doing it a day ahead of time. Hopefully this answers a lot of your questions so you don't feel the need to do that, but I'm happy to meet with you via phone, or we can do it over a Zoom, whichever works for you. Our main thing that we are working on in class right now is the CLT. All of my students who have not yet passed the benchmark, which is like 98% of them at this particular point, will be taking the CLT this coming up Thursday on the 15th, February 15th. It will be on campus. It's the same test that many of them have taken at home and had to do, all of the constraints with that. We're doing it here on computers, and we will be monitoring so they don't have to do all the things like show the room and make sure no one walks in and all of those kinds of things. We will take care of that for them. The results should be in about 10 days after that. The reason that they're in this class is that they still need to pass the ELA graduation benchmark, the reading benchmark. There are several different ways to pass that benchmark. You can either do it with a FAST, F-A-S-T, which is the new FSA. Most of your students have taken it at least twice, some 3 times. We will be taking that again sometime in the spring. I don't have a date for that yet. That's the test. You get instant results. You can also pass with an SAT. All of my students who have not yet passed, seniors and all juniors, will be taking that test in March. It's different dates. The seniors, I believe, is going to be on the 6th. The juniors, I believe, is going to be the week we come back from spring break. Don't hold me to that yet. It's not set in stone. The other way is through the ACT, and all of my students who have not yet passed, if your student passes at any point during the time, they stop taking these tests. So anyone who still needs a benchmark will be taking the ACT late March, could be early April. And then the FAST will be either March or April. I think it will be more April. So here are all 4 of the ways to pass and when your student will be taking them, all of them coming up very quickly. If your student does not pass the CLT that comes up this next Thursday, and they decide they want to take one at home, that is completely fine. In fact, highly encouraged. We can get them free tests on those days. There's some waiver things we can do. I help a student do it, and then we can share the code and they're able to take it. So if your student doesn't pass, but they think the CLT is their test and they want to do it, here are all the dates that the CLT is offered. Now, the rest of these dates are going to be at home. As far as I know, there will be no other test for the CLT on campus. So we want to make sure that they do their best this Thursday, and we're working really hard towards that. Along the lines of that, if your student does not have at least an A or a B in my class, it's on them. If they are completing work, they're at a B or a C, or an A or a B, maybe a C if they didn't do something well or they didn't finish it. I usually put a 5 in the grade book. That denotes to them, I acknowledge that you did it, but it's not done correctly or done completely. And they're supposed to go back and finish or correct whatever's wrong. Right now, the big focus for you is to help your student complete all of the CLT practice. I have 8 practice tests for them to do. They're on Canvas. There are only 10 questions in each one of those individual assignments. When they take that test, write down those answers. They're supposed to get with me and check their answers. On the CLT, we need to score about 47%. So if there are 10 questions, they need at least 5 right every time on each of those 8. It doesn't take that long. I had a student last period who did 4 of them in our 40-minute class. So it might sound like not a lot, but it's not, especially if they've taken today off, the Friday for Special Olympics Day, especially if they've done that. I would highly encourage you to tell them that they need to work on that for the weekend and catch themselves up. We'll be working that on in class on Friday, today, the day I'm making this, and again on Monday. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be taking full-length tests. On Tuesday, we'll be taking the reading test, and then on a Wednesday, the day right before the test, they'll be taking the grammar. So if they don't do these assignments during class Friday and Monday, then they do need to do them on their own. It is very important that they're ready for this test. We have been doing lots of things the last few weeks to get them ready, but there's nothing like them absolutely practicing and knowing and feeling that confidence of where they are. Anytime you have questions, please let me know. I can be reached at the phone number that I gave in the beginning. It's 813-406-0182, or via Canvas, or through my Remind group or email. Let me know if you have questions. I want to see all of my students pass, hopefully with the CLT in the next week, so we can celebrate and be done with this. Thank you. Have a great day.